Hey guys, welcome to the Daily Word Bible Study, a plain and simple, book by book, chapter by chapter, and verse by verse study through the entire Bible. We are in the Songs of Solomon. And so we're going to continue in this, you can call it a love story, a intimate look at a love story of Solomon with one of his wives. We don't know which one, but it is certainly, and it's one of the ones he married and he's one of the ones he loved. Um, Solomon's checkered history with 1,000 wives, 700 wives, 300 concubines. Okay, um, many of them probably, well, many of them were for political alliances. Okay, um, that's just one thing. The other one would be Solomon loved the ladies. Okay, he loved the ladies. Um, and then um, and then it's for this one he certainly loved. Okay, he loved this one, and he loved this one. You could say for the moment, for that moment he loved one. Okay, marriage for women during this time was not good. So you can pretty much say she enjoyed Solomon. Okay, she enjoyed Solomon for the moment. Then he would go on. So that's kind of the the sad thing of it. Okay, so let's get back into it in chapter 5. And you see this kind of going back and forth. Where you at? Chapter 5. Oh, huh. Um, Here we go. All right, chapter 5, verse 1 says, I've come to my garden, my sister, my bride. So the garden is her. Okay, the garden is her. The enjoyment of the garden is her. He says, I gather my myrrh and my spices. I eat my honeycomb with my honey, and I drink my wine with my milk. Eat, friends, drink, be intoxicated with love. Um, so verse 2 says, I sleep, but my heart is awakened. A sound, my love is knocking. Open to me, my sister, my darling, my dove, my perfect one. For my head is drenched with dew, my hair with the droplets of the night. I've taken off my clothing. How can I put them back on? I've washed my feet. How can I get them dirty? Now, remember, one of the customs, because, if they walk around with kind of sandals, they, one of the customs are always, especially for the wealthy, you would wash your feet. Okay. So, in other words, the idea was that, okay, he took off, and probably when talking about clothing, maybe the outer garments. Okay, so he wasn't kind of walking around naked, but the outer garments, washing of the feet, he's home. So if he had to go back outside, he would then have to do this process again by washing their feet by getting them dirty. Verse 4. My love thrust his hand through the opening. My love thrust his hand through the opening, and my feelings were stirred for him. Now think about that right there. As I said before, Christian, godly Christian marriages, one, are the safest, and they should be the most enjoyable, because your spouse is the only world by which your love evolves around. Doesn't matter what's going on outside of the walls of your marriage, but the safety. And notice this, he says, my feelings were stirred for him. So that's okay. Okay. Again, because a lot of times in marriages, they're kind of taught not to, or they come to marriages with bound up feelings, and that shouldn't be, not for your godly spouse. Verse 5, I rose to open for my love, my hands dipped with myrrh, my fingers were flowing with myrrh on the handle of the boat. I opened to my love, but my love had turned and gone away, and I was crushed that he had left. I sought him, but did not find him. I called him, but did not answer. Now, it's kind of interesting. You see this, it's almost like when you think about a good story that you see, and they call it tension building, all right? Like the tension is building in her that when she gets a hold of him, woo, right? Explosion. So, okay. Um, Verse 7. The guards who go about the city found me. They beat and wounded me, and they took my cloak from me. The guarding of the wall. Young women of Jerusalem, I charge you, if you find my love, tell him that I am love sick. Okay. What makes the one you love better than another? Most beautiful of women? What makes him better than another? That you would give us this charge. Okay. Something like, now, whoever this is asking this question. Now she answers, my love is fit and strong, notable among 10,000. His head is purest gold. His hair is wavy and black as a raven. Now, kind of interesting right there. You kind of get the picture of a Middle Eastern, whatever that looks like, okay? Black and wavy. All right. Verse 12. His eyes are like doves, beside the stream of water, washed in milk, instead in jewel. His cheeks are like beds of spices, tower of perfume. His lips are lilies dipping with flowing myrrh. His arms are the rods of gold set in topaz. His body is an ivory panel covered with sapphires. His legs are alabaster pillars set on pedestals of pure gold. His presence is like Lebanon, as majestic as the cedars. His mouth as sweetness, and he is absolutely desirable. This is my love, and this is my friend, young women of Jerusalem. Kind of interesting. Notice the intensity, as I said before, within a godly marriage, that you are so free to release all of your emotions, feelings, and desires towards. That's the picture we see here. Verse 6. When your love is gone, most beautiful of women, which way has he turned? Will he? We will seek him with you. My love has gone down to the garden, to beds of spices, to feed in the gardens, to gather lilies. I am my love, and my love is mine. He feeds among the lilies. Now, this again, feeding among the lilies here, to me, has a sexual connotation to it. Okay, that's so that's what he's talking about. This feeding in this context here. Okay, verse 4 says, "You are beautiful as Tezrah, my darling, lovely as Jerusalem, awe-inspiring as an army with banners. Turn your eyes away from me, for they captivate me. Your hair is like a flock of goats streaming down from Gilead. Your teeth are like flocks of ewes, coming up from the washing, each one having a twin and not one missing. Behind your veil, your brow is like a slice of pomegranate. There are 60 queens and 80 concubines and young women without number. But my dove, my virtuous one, is unique. She is the favorite of her mother, perfect to the one who gave her birth. Women see her and declare her fortunate. Queens and concubines also, they sing her praises. Who is this who shines like the dawn, as the beautiful as the moon, bright as the sun, awe-inspiring with an army banners? I come down to the walnut grove to see the blossom of the valleys, to see the vines were budding and the pomegranates blooming. Before I knew it, my desires put me among the cherries of my noble people. Come back, Shulamite, Shulamite. Um, come back, the way that we may look at you. Now, he identifies her as a Shulamite, okay, um, and um, um, this is the first time we kind of get a um, look or a description or identify. What am I trying to say here? Well, let me just put it. A Shulamite um, back then was a person from uh, um, Shulam, wherever that is, okay? And um, so this is kind of his description of her, all right? Um, let's see. All right. Uh, I don't know where Shulam is. I thought I was trying to look kind of one quickly here. Hmm. Now, there is a Shulamite woman that welcomed Elijah the prophet, which from this context would be, maybe 100 years from here, from this point of view. So this was a person from Shulam. All right. Uh, all right. So it says, why are you looking at the Shulamite as you look at the dance of the two in the camp? All right. All right. I'm trying to think right here. All right. Verse 7. How beautiful are your sandaled feet, princess, the curves of your thighs. Now, this is Solomon now looking at his bride. How beautiful are your sandaled feet, princess, the curves of your thighs are like jewelry, the handiwork of a master. Your navel is a round bowl. It never lacks mixed wine. Hmm. Now, just kind of think about that. Think about this description here. This is how he is looking when he looks at her. Okay. Your navel is a round bowl. It never lacks mixed wine, perhaps to taste from. Your waist is a mound of wheat surrounded by lily. Your breasts are like two fawns, twins of a gazer. Your neck is like a tower, ivory. Your eyes like pools of Heshbon by the gate of Bath Ribbon. Your nose is like a tower of Lebanon, looking towards Damascus. Your head crowns you like Mount Carmel. The hair of your head like a purple cloth. The king could be held captive by your tresses. How beautiful you are and how pleasant, my love, with such delight. Your stature is like a palm tree, your breasts are clusters of fruit. I said I will climb the palm tree and take hold of its fruit. So may your breasts be like clusters of grapes, with fragrance like the breath of and the fragrance of your breath like apricots, and your mouth is like fine wine. So he's really getting hot and heavy here, right? He's looking at, he's saying this is, his eyes causes him to want to what? Touch, feel, embrace. It says, verse 9 again, your mouth is like fine wine, flowing smoothly for my love, gliding past the lips and teeth. I belong to my love and its desires for me. Now, kind of interesting, you see a lot of wine. This so for those of you that don't think Christians can drink wine, okay, there's a lot of wine. And again, you can read and kind of study the intimacy here, kind of what's going on in this picture. And I'm restraining, not kind of getting graphic here. But anyway, come, my love, verse 11. Let us go to the field. Let us spend the night among henna blossoms. Let us go early to the vineyards. Let us see the vine. Let us see the vine has budded, and the blossoms open. If the pomegranates are in bloom, there I will give you my love. The mandrakes give off a fragrance, and at our doors every delicacy, new as well as old. Now, mandrakes, you kind of go back and we see this, that they were thought of as an aphrodisiac, that it would, to stir it up. Chapter 8, verse 1. If only I could treat you like my brother. Now, this is her speaking, one who nursed at my mother's breast. I would find you in public and kiss you, and no one would scorn me. I would lead you, I would take you to the house of my mother who taught me. I would give you spices and wine to drink from my pomegranate juice. His left hand is under my head, and his right arm embraces me. So there, you can kind of get the picture there, right? His left hand is under my head. So they are in a embrace. Young women of Jerusalem, I charge you, do not stir or awaken love until the appropriate time. Who is this coming from the wilderness, leaning on the one she loves? I awaken you under the apricot tree. Uh, there your mother conceived you. There she conceived and gave birth to you. Set me as the seal on your heart, as the seal on your arm. For love is as strong as death. Adherent love is unrelenting as Sheol, or the grave. Love flames in fiery flames, the finest of all. Mighty waters cannot extinguish love. Rivers cannot sweep it away. If a man were to give all his wealth for love, it would be utterly scorned. Our sister is young. She has no breast. What would we do for our sister on the day she is spoken of? Now, I was talking about some young women. I don't know where this is going, but if she is a wall, we would build a silver parapet on it. If she is a door, we will enclose it with cedar planks. I am a wall, and my breasts are like towers. So in his eyes I have become like one who finds peace. Solomon owns a vineyard in Baal-Hamon. He leases the vineyard to tenants. Each one brings its fruit, 1,000 pieces of silver. I have my own vineyard, 1,000, or for you, Solomon, and but 200 for those who guard its fruit. Now, again, there seems like a lot of imagery with this, what he's saying right here. I mean, with this kind of, with the writing here. In other words, are they talking about actual gardens? In other words, she starts off by comparing it, but then saying, I'm like one of those, okay, fruit or garden, vineyards, okay. Um, it says, you who dwell in the gardens, companions are listening for your voice. Let me hear you. Hurry to me, my love, and be like a gazelle or a young stag on the mountains of spices. Okay, so again, how do we take this love story, this very sensual love story? I'm going to also say even a natural sensual love story. As I said, many today, how we in the church are prudish. This is natural, and to me, it is treated as natural. That it is not treated, like, oh my God, he mentioned breasts. But a lot of Christians, this is how they approach. Now, here's the danger in that. The Bible wasn't shy about this story, so why should we? And if we're not talking about it, you do not think in the world of social media that they're going to learn about sexuality from the world. So my exhortation would be, you should be teaching your children. Pastors, you should be teaching your congregations from a biblical perspective, okay, of what godly intimacy is, what godly sex is. All right, guys, don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, Add it to the comments section below. All comments are welcome. Till next time, I'll see you then.